Reuben, what have you started this week?
I have started a new board game group.
We had to learn a motherfucking board game.
Oh, and the rules were simple. Great.
Maybe.
What does that
I'm
mean?
trying to.
What do you mean? Oh.
Kind of. I'm starting
A
slow.
community.
Yes. A community of 3 maybe, if I'm lucky. One of them was at the tennis the first time. So a community of 2.5 and their mum who made me dinner. It was really nice.
You know what I'm kind of offended by?
What? You're not invited?
Yeah, I'm not invited to this board
I
game
knew you'd
group.
say this. In my defense, if I may lay out my defense, this will be good practice for you on Wednesday.
Yeah.
In court. I know. This is the first time that I have seen these friends outside of work. Mm-hmm. I was going to their house I've met their mum, but to be in their space. And also, one of them is under the age of 18, yes.
Okay, cool.
No, they just live in the same house and have the same mum.
I'm just wondering if you were just using words weirdly.
I do enjoy using words weirdly.
Yeah. Okay. So you went to someone's house and played board games in their house.
Correct. Yes. My friend of the pod, Jack, asked me a very interesting question the week before. I was like, "Yeah, board games is happening Monday, remember?" And they're like, "Oh yeah. Are you hosting?" And I was like, "No." I was like, "Yeah." And they're like, "So it's here." I was like, "No, it's there, but I'm hosting." And they were like, "So you're not hosting?" I was like, I'm facilitating.
That also sounds like it's happening here.
God damn it.
You're going to somebody's house and bringing board games.
The thing that I'm trying to communicate is that these people have Monopoly. I said, what board games do you enjoy? And they said, all we have is Monopoly and maybe a deck of cards if I can find it. And I went, oh boy. And I saw the challenge laid out before me and I went, I'm up for this. I've had enough failed runs at this roguelike to be able to maybe get them on board for, good board games.
So what it sounds like is you haven't started, you're starting from ground scratch.
Absolutely. In fact, maybe backwards, because anyone who's played Monopoly is not keen to learn more board games.
No. They're keen to throw out their one deck of cards so they don't have to engage with any games whatsoever.
However, it did become apparent as we talked over the course of the evening that they had played Ticket to Ride and Catan before. So I was like, basic Euro games. What?
I haven't played Ticket to Ride.
Yeah, it's good. I don't know. I think the stuff we play is better, but it's good. Good entry level,
Okay, who was the third person?
Me.
The third person who couldn't come because they were at the tennis. You didn't go. 2 people just took your games and played them in their own house? Is that what you're telling me?
The third person was one of the 2.
Oh.
So it was me and 2 siblings, one of whom was at the tennis until
you
8
went over to
o'clock.
someone's house and played a board game with them.
Yeah.
And you're like, this is a new community.
Well, I'm going in with that intention because I don't know, how do you politely say buttered them up for a few weeks beforehand? Just like
I don't think you
little
say it like
breadcrumbs. I put little breadcrumbs on the ground. Being like,
I sugared our conversation.
What are you into? Yeah, ooh, I don't like that.
I'm just going off the butter and bread
butter and
sugar.
breadcrumbs. What am I making?
Yeah, I don't know.
French toast?
It sounds like
and then
you're-
I egged the house.
You're luring them to your little hobbit. What the fuck am I saying?
Hobbit hole?
Cottage in the country.
Oh,
and
a
gonna
cute
bake
little
them
cottage in the
in
country.
your fucking oven. Like the witch you are.
Yeah, their names were Hansel and Gretel. They live with their mum, but not anymore. I'm kind of going in with the intention of what if this was recurring? I prepared, like the little nerd I am, a menu. So it had entrees, mains, and desserts. And when I arrived at the house with a small subsection of our board games that I've just packed into 2.5 boxes today, because we have so many, it really sunk into me how many we have when I had to
2.5
pack
boxes.
them all
These
up.
aren't regular boxes.
These aren't boxes.
These are the largest moving boxes that we have.
The big national storage deep ones.
Which is a really bad decision because
they're so heavy.
They're so heavy, but also I need to move actual stuff in those.
Yeah.
And those were like the only couple of large boxes that we have.
Yep. However, I think it's better to say we have 2.5 boxes of board games than to say we have 6 boxes of board games. So, 6 of one, half a dozen of the other.
Oh, what board games did you bring to them?
Oh, so I took a pack of cards.
Basic, but acceptable.
Pack of Italian cards to play Scopper.
Ah, a little bit fancier. I like this.
Coup. Okay, so there's 3 or 4 of us were there. Pathological.
Yeah, that's a good one. That's a good one.
Best one on the list,
a really good
arguably.
one.
I took, I changed it around a few times, but let's see. Oh my gosh, am forgetting what I took for mains because we actually skipped mains and went straight to dessert, like the unhealthy little goblins that we are. But I might remember over the course of this segment. And then for dessert, we had Twilight Struggle. And what I did was I wrote down a menu that said like entrees, light card games, mains, introduction to concepts and mechanics, and then like desserts, luxurious systematic feasts or something like that. And then I had 3 stats for each one. Tried to keep it simple, but also communicate something on this menu, kind of like you would communicate the price or the level of chili or something. I said how many players it was, 2 plus, 2 or 4 for Scopper, 3 plus for pathological, etc. And then I had a brain symbol and a heart symbol. And these were categories that I made up. Instead of trying to rate like complexity or how difficult it is or how long it will take, anything like that, I had how much your brain will hurt, how much your heart will hurt. So complexity and the level of competitiveness, I guess.
Yeah.
So like Coup was like a 3, I think, out of 5. Scopper was like a 2 or 3 for complexity and like a 1 or 2 because I think it was a 2 because it feels bad when the other person gets a Scopper, but it's pretty friendly.
It's pretty friendly. I would say that it's pretty difficult to understand the point system for a long while.
It is. I teach people just how to play first, and then we play at least one hand like that, and then generally don't score it.
Yeah.
But just be like, if we were to score this is how it would go.
That's smart.
Hint, look for this card because it's 1 point, 1/4 of another point, 1/10 of another point just on its own.
But I do think that we took up, it took like 3 years for us to figure out how the set to bello point works. Was it that one?
No, it was the bloody 7s that go like 7, 6, ace, 5.
Yeah.
When I taught it this
what's
time.
that one called?
Premiera, it's the
Premiera,
7s.
yeah.
Yeah. This time I said, hey, there's a bunch of confusing rules for resolving ties on 7s. I suggest that just between us,
It goes
this game,
7s?
we just play 7s, and if they're tied, no one gets that point.
It goes 7, 6s, 5s. It goes down.
I don't think it does though, or maybe it's a regional thing because I'm pretty sure the Wikipedia rules say 7-6-1-5 or something. Bananas.
Oh, yeah. No, we figured it out 3 years ago, and then 3 years before that we did. It doesn't matter. We don't need to go over it now.
So I had how much your brain will hurt, how much your heart will hurt, how many players, which I thought was fun framing. And we didn't get all that much done. We played a couple of games of Scopper, and then we started setting up Twilight Struggle before dinner. Dinner happened. The third person arrived. We were like, do you want to play? Do you want to jump into my spot? Do you want to be on a team? And they're like, no, I want to watch the tennis and just be in the space, which was really nice. And so then Dion and I played the first 3 turns of Twilight Struggle, which sounds like not much, but it's like 24 rounds.
Yeah.
It was great. I enjoyed it. I also targeted Twilight Struggle very specifically for the person who I was playing it with, and I'm going to play with Christos. I'm planning to play Daybreak because he's more into that side of things, kind of enviro and life sciences. Yeah. So I don't know. I think that most of the themes of the games that I own are really lame. Like it's war, or it's 1945 but it's war, or it's an alternative universe called 1920 plus but it's war. But I do think if you can find a theme that people like, that's a great gateway into the mechanics, which are then where board games shine.
Like if you really like Assassin's Creed, you can play Assassin's Creed Monopoly. Or if you really like Doctor Who, you can play Doctor Who Monopoly. Or if you really like Mario, you can play Mario Monopoly. Or if you really like Harry Potter, you can play Harry Potter Cards Against Humanity, called Cards Against Muggles.
That game is so hard to pack in a box. It's so long.
You know why I like the box size for that? It feels like a wand box. And I think that's the
a wand
justification.
box.
Yeah.
I think it shows the true size of the game because you could put them in a different box that was more like a rectangle or a square.
Yeah.
But I think by having just one single row of cards that goes all the way, you can see before you open that exactly. I don't know. I just think it's a
they
great
have
marketing
duplicates
tool.
in there as well.
Duplicates?
Yeah.
Of individual cards?
In Cards Against Muggles. Because it's a knockoff. It's not an actual Cards Against Humanity branded game.
You mean they have duplicates of Cards Against Humanity cards? Or
No,
duplicates of its own.
You will have like
Well, that sucks.
2 Hagrid's warty feet. You'll
Surely
have
that's
2
a
of
game
those.
where you can just write more cards.
Yeah, it is.
They just got lazy?
Yeah. Do you know how hard it is to write more cards for a party game, Reuben?
It's really hard. We had to write, 150 and it took like a year?
Yes. And then I had to write the other 350 within a month or so. And mine are just coming up with things off the top of their head. You have to find real facts. You know how many real facts there are in the world?
501?
There are a lot. But you know how many of them are funny or interesting? Very little. About 500.
The players of your game do the funny and interesting.
But I want to make them funny and interesting too. You know where London Bridge currently is?
Yeah, Arizona.
Arizona.
If you edit that, I'm going to kill you.
You know whose mother invented the Manhattan cocktail?
Winston Churchill. Go on, do another one.
You know whose cat was sold for $192,000?
You've tricked me because I'm going to say Jack Black, but that's not the answer.
It's not. It's Adolf Hitler.
Yeah, I was getting there. You just had to give me time. I was going to tell the listeners exactly how you tricked me because that's one of the promo stickers and answers that you use on the box. And I was going to say, but the real answer is Adolf Hitler.
Sure.
But you were just really keen to talk about that guy, I guess. You've been bringing him up. That's the second time you brought him up unprompted.
Yeah. Sue me, because of the state of the world right now, I've been thinking about Nazis. I got my finger in the pulse. I've got my finger jammed into people's arms. Feeling their
pulse directly. Anyway, I don't know. I feel like over time I'm slowly getting better at making board games night less about the board games and more about the people as a way in until I trick them all into it being about the board games again.
Wait, you're just manipulating people into liking the things you like.
Yeah, but they like them, don't they?
This is
your modus operandi.
This is what I do.
This is the thing you've been doing forever.
I think I'm finally wearing off on you.
Well, maybe that's all part of the master plan.
This is what I did with video games to you.
Just wait till I turn it around on you.
You're going to turn it around on me?
I don't think I can.
Nah, I know.
This was a test to see if you recognized what I was doing. You picked it up immediately.
I know the tricks of the trade. The student can't school the master unless I get very old and senile, in which case, yeah.
I'll just smack your arm.
I won't be that senile.
Oh, no. Anyway, I would recommend starting a new board game group if you feel like it. Sometimes it's hard.
Well, I want to ask you
it's always fun.
What your end goal is. What's your end game, if you will?
Very good. Regular
like the
board
movie
games.
Avengers Endgame.
Board games in my life again, because I looked on Board Game Geek where I logged some of our board games, and we played bits and pieces here, like a single game of Dominion or a single game of Dominion.
Or a single game of Dominion.
But the last time we did like 2 games of Dominion in a week, for example, or any other kind of regular or substantial amount of board gaming, was January 2023. And I can't live like this anymore because I've got 2.5 to 6 boxes of board games in my house. And that looks like a lot of dead space if I'm not using those.
Let's figure that. Why? Why has this happened?
I don't know.
You don't know.
I mean, we both individually got busy.
We
also do a podcast once a week now, which sometimes takes up a night that would have been used for a board game.
When we first moved in together, we, on our weekly planner, were like, great, we're going to have 2 nights a week that will rotate between number 1, board game. Number 2, movie. Number 3, fuck, I forgot.
Video games.
Video game. Number 4, a random miscellaneous.
One of the 3, whatever we're vibing.
So we could do board games a week, whatever. And so we had that and we were going with it. We did that pretty strong for like at least, I want to say like 8 months or something.
Yeah.
And then it fell off.
Yeah.
I think, we got busy. I think you started doing more things in the nights.
I did. I found a lot of dance things that were really important to me.
Yeah.
Your game just kept going up and up in terms of like importance.
Yeah, that was day stuff.
Yeah.
I was still sitting here playing video games and board games. Dude, Twilight Struggle, let me tell you, is when you're playing it on yourself in the nighttime.
Yeah.
Damn, that name really does it justice.
Oh, a long Twilight Struggle.
Yeah, it's at night and I'm playing the game and it's difficult to one, but it's very Twilight good. Struggle. Yeah.
Yeah, very good.
Also, what happens when I watch Edward and Bella kiss? Oh my God. This is a Twilight Struggle.
Very good.
Bella and Jacob, though, big fan.
Not Except, no,
actually, no, because he did that fucked thing and he was bad for a bit. You know what? Neither of them are good. Anyways, sorry.
Like most men everywhere. Not actually good enough for you.
No,
find somewhere else.
But also, she's kind of shit too.
Sure.
Until you read Midnight
But she's
Sun.
a kid. They're like, what, hundreds of years old?
Jacob's young. Jacob's multiple years younger.
Oh, okay.
But then he becomes a wolf and then he's a man.
A wolf man. That's the name of a movie that came out recently.
Yeah, by the same person who did Invisible Man.
Yeah. Lee Whannell. Is that right?
Maybe.
Who knows?
Who knows?
You've seen it, I haven't.
No, I haven't.
You've seen Invisible Man?
I've seen Invisible Man.
Well, you haven't seen The Invisible Man.
Spoiler alert, maybe you see The Invisible Man.
What?
I haven't seen
Rip off,
Wolfman.
I want my money back.
Should do that. False advertising. I saw that, man.
They actually did a 5-year-long prank, and in Wolfman, you never see the Wolfman. He was the Invisible Man all along.
But is this board game group going to be your new board game group, or is this one group and you're going to have another group, or are you going to converge them?
I'm into ethical board game non-monogamy.
That's what
I'll play with anyone.
No, but are you bringing everyone together?
Maybe eventually.
Maybe
There's a few geographical and timing constraints.
Okay.
We'll see.
Okay.
I've literally gone once. Don't rush me.
Hey, you're bringing it on the podcast as a starter.
I've spent weeks buttering them up, all right?
You can't be like, well, why are you questioning me about this thing that I'm bringing on this podcast where we question things and analyze them? I'm analyzing. Would you rather me review?
No, we're not going back to our review era.
All right.